higher?
Maybe reading is lower, but listening is, yes, listening is the same.
Yeah, listening the
and
same. So
and
yeah.
speaking the same too.
Yeah, so as I know, so you focus on different, sections, for example, now at school, actually, I'm not sure, just I'm asking. So at school now, you focus on writing and speaking. So because of this, you want to start writing and speaking and finish them and then move on listening and reading, right?
Yes.
So because of this, so it's normal because you haven't started. What about speaking? So a bit stress sometimes. Sometimes we forget. We know some words, but if we don't practice,
Yes.
so of course we forget when taking the test. So of course we use it's something like we have a comfort zone. Like, for example, present simple is easy. So when speaking, we normally use present simple because actually we don't want to take risk. So it's easy and we use it. But when we practice, we're ready to use different structures, not only present simple, for example. So because of this, we lose our score in, for example, grammar range. So it's something like this. So no worries, it's normal. It's okay. Of course, you will boost your score. So just you need to practice more. So as I told you before, of course, it's your choice, but I can't tell you what to do or what not to do. So just it's your choice. But as I told you before, you need to, no matter what you study at school, you need to concentrate on 4 sections, not only speaking and writing. Okay, so but it's your choice. So tell me what you want to do, and then we follow. Actually, maybe something that you want, but I think it's good to focus on different sections because we have 4 sections. So it's good to boost all them at the same time. So what do you think?
I think that's I should do what you told me because I don't have experience in IELTS test.
Of course, because I have some candidates, some students who are candidate for IELTS, and they have a teacher at the school. And for example, they say, okay, teacher, for example, our teacher at the school works on, for example, listening section. So we need to study speaking section. But, 2 different methods. So I think it's not bad. You can review, you can check something that if you are learning, for example, listening, so it's okay, you can review and check. Why not? So I think it's good to focus on different sections. So one by one and do some factual test, real test of IELTS, so that actually maybe you will get familiar with this type of question and it will be easy to answer for the next time. Okay, well, tell me, what are we going to do today? It's okay, just don't worry about it. So next time you will get a really high score, so no worries. Okay, so what are we going to do? Actually today, uh, I decided to uh, do some writing actually together. So writing task 2, but if you want to do something else like speaking, listening, just you ask me and we can do it. But actually I decided to, because we didn't study cause and effect, and we didn't write about cause and effect questions. So it's not bad to a bit
Yes.
check
Okay.
and review. Yeah, so do you agree?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Well, so for task 2, let me change the light, it's okay. Well, okay, so today, cause and effect. So let's do this one together. Okay, let me share my screen, and so just wait a moment. Okay, so, well, okay, our question. So this is cause and effect question. So cause and effect. Okay, so let's talk about it. What is the question? So first of all, young people in the modern world seem to have more power and influence than any previous young generation. Why is this the case? What impact does this have on the relationship between old and young people? Now, I write the question on the board. First of all, let's talk about it and let's write. Well,
Yes.
can see, okay. Well, so this is our question. And first of all, let's explain. Young people in the modern world seem to have more power and influence. So, oh, what is this? Just tell me, when typing, I can't see what I am. Okay, why is this the case? And what impact does it have on the relationship between old and young people? So this is our question. Cause, why is this the case? Effect, what impact? Yes.
What? Why it is the case? What does mean?
Why is this the case? It means why it happens. Why something, we have something like this. Why young people in the modern world seem to have more power. Why is this the case? Okay, so why we have something like this?
But I think that in a sentence or in a question, maybe we should have subject then plus with verb. But then, but at this question we have like subject plus noun.
Okay, so, you mean why? So you think it's not complete? So let me say something about to be in case. When something, if you say that something is the case, you mean that is true. Why it's correct, why it's true. Okay, so this is the meaning of this. So you don't do why this means why young people in the modern world seem to have more power and influence. Why do you think it's correct? Okay, so let me write it here. To be the case, why it's correct or true. Why it's correct or true. So here we have cause, we need to give the reason, and then we have effect. What impact, what effect does it have? Okay, so first of all, let's talk about it. Do you agree with it? First of all, I want to know, do you think young people in modern world seem to have more power and influence?
Yes, of course. Because
Okay.
as far as I know, young people, teens nowadays, they have been taught perfectly, and they can learn and study a lot of new things that maybe the previous generation, our ancient, maybe
Ancestor, you means our ancestors.
that, like and our ancestors like couldn't have studied them before, so they couldn't mm,
Okay,
they,
they couldn't what?
they couldn't be knowledgeable as teens
Yeah,
nowadays.
good. First of all, we have grammar mistake here. So we need to could have, should have. So it's something like, we usually use should have or could have, like most for past tense to talk about regret. So it wasn't good to use it. So first of all, you say, I agree. So you can say, I would agree. I would agree. As I told you before, we need to paraphrase our question. So I would agree that, so young people, young generation, so young generation or people, for example, today is in the modern, okay, where today seem to have more power and influence, play bigger and maybe more significant role in society
Yes,
than who their parents or grandparents. Okay.
yes,
For example, than their parents or grandparents did. Okay, so this is the paraphrase of my question. Okay. Now I want to answer this. Okay. Why is this case? Why it's correct? Why do you think it's correct? Okay, why do you agree with this? Okay, so you said because of education. So they are more knowledgeable
yes,
than previous generation. Yeah, of course, why not? But how can I begin? How can I start my sentence? That's really important. As I told you, as we discussed before, we have some discourse markers like firstly, secondly, at the beginning, to begin, in contrast, for example, okay? So I need to use something, we don't jump into the answer like, okay,
yes,
this is my answer. So I can say, of course, there are different phrases, not only this. This is mainly due to what? So I say due to maybe the larger actually social and technological changes. Now everything is sophisticated, is modern, is actually advanced. So something like that, we can say it can be due to the larger social and technological changes.
yes,
That's what happened that, of course, have increased. Have increased what? The knowledge, the experience, okay, the knowledge gap, the maybe experience and maybe knowledge gap between the generations. We have sophisticated word now. We live in modern, sophisticated cities and societies. So of course we have a gap, a big knowledge gap, experience gap with our older generations. So this can be the first reason. Now, do you remember I told you if you give the reason, you need to support it. It means, okay, yes, do an example. Now write an example. For example, no, I don't like it. For instance, you can use any other actually phrase that will, okay, for what example can you actually bring here, can you write here to complete, to support your sentence? For example, what?
I think that they're like they can learn with the advanced language.
Good job. Advanced maybe language. And you mentioned knowledge, education. So here you can use it. You talked about education, but education is a detail, an example for your main idea. Now you can bring it, you can add it. Okay, for example, for instance, young people today are better, are better educated. And are better educated, and maybe now I need another time tense. So how can I add another, because here, so far I only use present is not enough. Now I need to use to show my grammar range. I know more grammar, so let's add something. And I can, for example, and because what? Because they have been trained. Ah, passive, present, that's great. Yes. From young age to use computer technology. Just, I can't see what I'm typing, just, if I have, okay. So, to use computer technology, language, and language, for example, and foreign languages. Okay. In addition, they have, most important, internet access. Yeah. To information in a way that was unimaginable in the past. For what? I don't want to say, again, I don't want to say older generation. I need another thing. I don't want to say grandparents. So I say for earlier generations. When you say ancestors, actually it goes back very long time ago. So there was no internet. So it's better to say earlier generation, like grandparents. Okay, so the time that they had access to internet, but not as much as we have, so something like earlier generation. So this is my first actually paragraph, and finish this word. Okay, so
sure.
Yeah, yes.
You mean like the earlier generations like they have internet, but they didn't improve it as us do nowadays.
Yeah, I want to say that actually, what is this? Just, tell me. As I told you, I can't see when I'm typing. After that, I get some errors. Okay, so I wrote here unimaginable for earlier. So for example, in the past, maybe when, yeah, we have dial-up connection many years ago. For example, I can say many years ago, it was dial-up connection. So per connection, it was basic form of connection. Maybe they had access to the internet, but not the same as, yeah, something that we have nowadays. It's something like light speed. You can do anything you want, anywhere, wherever, whenever you want. So it's something like, of course, when I say earlier generation, I'm not talking about our ancestors when there was no internet. So there was, but not the same as something that we have nowadays. Get it?
Yes.
Yeah, they couldn't even imagine something like this in the future. So just, maybe in the future, but now we can manage, control everything remotely at home, from home. So it's something like unimaginable.
Yes,
So this is, yeah.
but if we replace earlier generations to ancestors, I think this also okay because we talk about like our ancestor. They can be our grandparents, the earlier generations.
But when we say ancestor means grandparents, not
But
our grandparents. Our
yeah,
grandparents are not, ancestors, of course, ancestors can be our grandparents, but grand, when
yeah,
we are talking about, any previous generation, of course, totally you can say our ancestor when there was no internet. But when you say ancestor, you need to mention when there was no internet, no social media. Okay, so you can say why not? It's okay. But if you want to compare maybe this generation and previous one, or
yes,
maybe to, for example, earlier generation, so it's okay. You can say, you can compare. There was internet, but not exactly the same as something that we have nowadays. Okay.
yes, sir.
Well, so I wrote one paragraph, but it's not enough, so I need to write more. Okay, what can I write? So I can explain this more. What it means when I say they have internet access to information in a way that was unimaginable for earlier generations. So what it means. So, for example, uh, we can say that actually today, young people, young generation, probably better informed than their parents or grandparents when they were at their age.
Yes,
And they actually, their high tech skills, give them confidence, I think, in dealing with, I don't know, very rapid and quick changes in the
yes,
world or in technology. And but for old people, for earlier actually generation, it's a bit uncomfortable. They can't say, wow, they can't get to the pace of life, of technology, say, wow, everything is too fast for them. So here, let's write it. Okay, so
yes,
now I want to explain. So how to begin, how to start. This means that, what? They are probably informed than their parents and grandparents were at their age, and maybe their high-tech skills, the high-tech skills give them confidence in dealing with the very quick, very rapid, maybe changes in technology that are so uncomfortable
Yes.
for older people. So I explain, okay? So it means, of course, you can change it. You know, I write my answer, and after that, of course, I want you try to change it. Find, for example, instead of this means, find another thing, just rewrite it, okay?
Yeah.
Well, now, what else? Okay, you tell me, what can we add?
I think that's we can say that we have like more instruction on the internet that the earlier generation have never had before.
Yeah, it's okay, but we explain this, we describe this, enough. I think something else.
It's about education or
Something
another.
else, anything, We are talking about modern words, so
I think that we have like highly advanced gadgets that can help us to explore like new things or some new or some new research. Yes.
yeah, so of course, it's a bit educational. So, I'm thinking about fashion.
For sure.
Yeah, more power and influence than, so why can't we talk about fashion? Why can't we talk about globalization? So why not?
Yeah.
So nowadays everything has changed. Fashion, styles, and I don't know, something like clothes. So everything has changed. So why not? We can talk about it. So
Yeah.
just maybe. Do you agree? Just I want to ask you, do you agree that younger people actually are often, affected by globalization? It means, for example, they follow fashion in clothes, in music, in, for example, social habits. They follow all actually fashion trends, and no matter what it is. Do you agree?
Good. Like the teens follow the fashion.
Of course, of course. For example, you and your grandparents,
Yes.
which one tends to buy fashion clothes? Of course you,
Of
not
course.
your grandparents.
Yes.
Yeah? So it's something like you can influence global markets. You buy trends. So you are consumer, but they are not. Because they are saying, they have some habits. They follow their old habits. Like,
Yeah.
no, it's okay. It's just comfortable. I don't want to. But you want to try. So can we say,
Like benefit the economy.
Of course, of course. So it can be due to actually a good economical situation. Yeah, we can say. So I want to add something else. Furthermore, in addition, so in addition or furthermore or something like this. Younger people are often the most affected by.
I couldn't see the word you
Oh,
type.
neither
Yeah.
can I.
Yeah.
As I told you, just I'm checking my keyboard so I can see what I'm typing. So again, in addition. Okay, so now I'm typing. Younger people are often the most, I'm typing, yeah, the most affected by that is they follow clothes, music, and uh, social habits. Oh, again, that are common among young people. Okay, throughout the world. So maybe this one. So they have, yeah, present perfect. They have become powerful what? Consumers who influence big global market today. Okay, so another one. So now, what is the result? Okay, what is the result of this development? You know, now we want to talk about impact. Okay, so what is, okay, we discussed something, maybe 2 points here, and now I want to know what is the result of these developments, you think?
What could you repeat again, teacher?
Now, okay, so we discussed
Yes.
cause completely, now effect. So what is the result of this? What is the effect, impact of these two, actually maybe two big difference, two big differences between young and old generation, you think?
The effect. I think
Just read this first and second paragraph and tell me, for example, when you are educated, but maybe your teacher, your old teacher at the school maybe is not maybe as experienced, maybe it's a, of course he is more experienced than you, but you are different, you are from different worlds. So what problem maybe can cause this gap?
the problem that cause. I think. But you have right. But you have written on the board.
No, I didn't write anything about, the rest of it. So what is the problem? Okay, we discussed causes. Now,
Yeah.
I want to discuss the effect. What is the effect of it? So, of course, look, now we know that, for example, there is a knowledge and experience gap between the old generation and the young generation. But I think, yeah, good point and negative point. So I think there is a negative effect. Do you think young people respect older generation? Maybe lack of respect. Yeah.
Yeah. Lack of respect.
So we can say something like this, okay? So we're going to talk about this. So as a result of these developments, now, next part. Just we need to count the number of words because, as a result of this developments. So of course, relationships, with older people are often difficult. So we can't make good relationship with our maybe older generation, something like grandparents. It's difficult. Teachers, for example. So relationships with older people difficult, challenging. Okay. So, for example, again, teachers and parents no longer, treated with respect. Now, exactly, we have the same thing,
Yeah.
for example, in classes, especially in person classes, yeah, we have. And, I think an experience, is undervalued, not valuable anymore. Why? Because youngers think they know everything. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yeah, so, or at least can learn about, oh, sorry,
It's nothing.
what is about, I was saying no. So, for example, they can learn about everything from the internet. So let me, okay, just, okay. So I think this can be a bad and negative effect.
Yes.
So, and in many cultures, actually, this has led to a lack of discipline in schools. Yeah, we have, like really easygoing, lack of discipline. There is no discipline in school. So, of
Yes.
course, we see something like this. So we can say in many cultures, has led to, again, another time, actually, structure, another tense, led to a lack of discipline in school. Another one, or maybe family, okay, something like family breakdowns, and something like even various social issues. So, do you agree?
Yes, of
Okay.
course. Yeah.
So, we discussed. Now, we need to end. We need to finish because we need something to finish. Okay. Now, we talked actually cause. We discussed effect. Okay. Uh, we need to say something else. So we can say, for example, both generation, have to make efforts to understand each other's. Yeah, of course, they have a gap. We have
Yes.
a big gap. So let's write our conclusion. Okay. So we can say, however, the current generation gap is the responsibility of both younger and older generations. So both have to make effort to understand each other, and maybe a good starting
Yes.
point would be for families to spend more time together than they normally do today, and finish. So this is our, and now let's count. Let's count the actually words.
It's over 200, teacher.
Yeah, of course, it's over. And just wait. It's over 250. It's over
Yeah.
200. I'm not sure, maybe 258 or something like, I'm not sure. So it's okay. So, okay, we're a limit. And so this can be your answer and you can change it. So it's your choice how to change it, how to make your answer. Okay, so you can change phrases and words with synonyms and definition in order to make yours. Okay? Do you
Yes.
have any questions related to this part?
Yes. I want to ask about the word globalization.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
and
so
I
the
need to.
meaning of it, actually, as you can guess, globalization is something come from globalize, global. It means all around the world. And it's used to describe, something like uh, cultures, you know, sharing and growing, actually economies, cultures, populations, so everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the meaning of, so it's something like uh, investments and something like, you know, people, information, technology, good, service, so everything. So growing everything all around the world. And, you know, for example, of course, it's growing, you know, interdependence of the words economies, cultures, and populations. So this is the meaning of this word.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. For
Yeah.
example, sometimes we have a trade or technology, you know, and this trade and technology have made the world into more connected. So of course we say that, okay, this is globalization, you know, so because we can share something, so we can connect. So this is the meaning of it. Get it?
Yes.
Well,
Teacher,
and
and
yeah,
have time to take note.
of
Take
course,
note.
of course.
Yes, I'm finished, teacher.
Okay, well, let's keep going. So this is about, okay, this writing. Just let me open the book now. So I'm gonna do something else. So writing. I think we did this one. I'm gonna find something else. History. So I think we started this one about history, right? I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Okay. So sorry, it takes a few seconds to find it. What is this unit 7 speaking? Okay. Culture and writing. I want to find something new. Unit 7 writing. Listening. And here, so again, we have some charts. I'm not gonna do something with charts here because, yeah, we started part task. Do you have any question about writing task 1? If you have, we can do this. If no, because, you know, I'm going to focus on part 2, I think. Now I want to ask you, so tell me about your writing. Which one was more difficult for you, task 1 or task 2?
About the task 1, I have the highest score in my class.
Yeah, very good. So task 2 was difficult, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so it's okay. So we need to study task 2. Okay, do you want to have another? So let's do something because, all of them are about task 1. So, okay, so let's have another one, another sample. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Again, effect, cause and effect, or something else. So what do you think?
What do you mean, teacher?
So as you know, we have agree, disagree, express your opinion, cause and effect, problem, solution. So different, actually question, different types of questions. So which one? Again, cause and effect, or solution, or agree, disagree. So which one do you want to? So if you want, you can have the same one, same thing. If no, I think it's better to have another topic.
Mm, I think that we should discuss both views.
Discuss both views. So,
Yes.
okay, so let me find something that is, let me find a good question. Okay, both views. Well, so it was the same as your question in your IELTS test?
Yes.
Okay, of course. So, discuss both views. Agree, disagree, no. Oh, okay. Agree, disagree. I'm gonna find something good. Okay, advantage, disadvantage. I have everything here. Okay. Again, advantage, disadvantage, agree, disagree. Okay, so, well, so let me ask you this question. So I think this one is good. No, this is solution option. So how can students say, okay, so just formal examinations often, okay, agree. Okay, how can students be assessed? Okay, so this one is, it's kind of agree, disagree, so I'm gonna find something. Okay, give your opinion again. Okay, so this one is good. Well, okay, yeah. Some people think that genetically modified crops are a positive development. Others, however, argue that they are potentially dangerous. Discuss both these views and give your own opinion. So let me write the question. This one is good. Okay. Let me erase this content from the board. Well, okay. Well, so let me write. Okay. Some people think that So, first of all, what do you think?
Mm, I think that, in my opinion, there's like ah like when my teacher in like at the school told me about my mistake in the writing task, because I wrote that I partly agree, and then he circled this and he write a question mark on it, and he told me like I shouldn't write like this, and I don't know why.
Of course, you can't, right? Because this is not agree, disagree. So for agree, disagree, you can say, I totally agree, I partly agree, so yes. But here you need to discuss both views and then express your opinion. So you can't, okay? Because this type of question is not agree, disagree. So if you want to say, I agree, so what's the difference between this type and agree, disagree question? So you can't.
Yeah.
So you need to talk about people. Some people think that. Some other people think another way. So here you are not the point. People are the point. Okay, so think about it. Okay, so tell me about genetically modified crops, GM. We briefly say GM. So what do you think about it? Actually, I think there is a big discussion
Yes.
about GM products for several years. You know, it's been actually the topic of discussion for several years. Do you agree?
I think that's maybe.
Yeah. So, okay, now we need to paraphrase our question. Yeah. So, first of all, what words we can find? Okay, so let's write about it. So, first of all, some people think that, okay, it's okay. I think it's not bad to begin our introduction using a passive statement. I think this one is better. So I say GM products have been at the center of global global discussion, or what other word? Debate is better. They are the same for several years. Yeah. Some people claim that the genetic engineering of food and food products brings many advantages. Now I paraphrased. Okay, what should I say now? Here at the end of my introduction, I can say this essay, okay, deals with or discusses arguments for and against. Agree, disagree, something. Some people say yes, some people say for and against this issue. Or you can say this other word that, for example, I want to say something else, some other word. Issue is good, but because there is an issue that caused much discussion, so controversial is good. So I think you can say, for example, this controversial issue.
Controversial. Yes.
Okay, now it's your turn. So what do you think?
I think
How can we keep going? How can we continue this? Just think about it, and no matter, it takes time. Just think about it and try to make something, try to write. Saying is difficult. Because of this, I write.
But teacher, this type of essay is discuss both views. But I think that you're right. It seems like you agree with the first one.
No, look here. Look. This essay deals with arguments for and against. For, agree, against, disagree. So no, and I only paraphrase, So GM products have been at the center of a global debate for several years. Here, some people think that genetically modified crops are a positive development. Some people claim that the actually genetic engineering of food products brings many advantages. So this is the first one. However, that they are actually potentially dangerous, some other people think. So this essay deal with arguments for and against. So some people think okay, but some other against. So no, both of them. Get it?
For and against.
Now we need to separate. Okay, now I have different paragraphs.
Wait, teacher.
First four, yeah.
Teacher, I still don't understand the deal with arguments for and against this controversial issue. It's like we deal with the arguments that they are potentially dangerous, and we
Okay, so
again.
let me say, first of all, when we say controversial issue, it means something that relates to or cause much discussion, agreement and disagreement. So this is the meaning of this, okay? But here, actually, as you can see, I wrote this essay deals with arguments, discussions for, it means the arguments that are agree with actually GM products and against arguments that are, that disagree with GM products. Okay, so these two, I just wrote these two words so that I can show that I will discuss both sides, not only one. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Well, now we need to separate. Okay, we need to separate our information into two paragraphs. First, the people who are in actually favor of this method, who are interested, who agree. So those people who are in favor of this method of production, of course, they argue that food production can be, I don't know, massively, increased by making crops more, yes, something like resistant to actually pests or something like this. They believe that, for example, food can be actually, be improved by adding vitamins or something like this. And some actually problems, genetic problems will be removed. For example, some problems that leads to allergies. For example, in peanuts, if we add something to peanuts, we can solve this issue with allergy. So fruit and vegetables can also actually last much longer if the gene, something is modified. So this means that they can be stored for much longer periods. So we have less waste. So this is the first opinion, I think. So let's talk about people who don't agree. What do you think? Let's think about it.
I think that's when we change the chain of crops. It can it can be like it can be potentially turn bad.
Yeah, of
It's like
course.
we cannot ensure that when we change the chain, it will turn like it will have a lot of benefit.
Of course, very good. So I definitely agree with you because I was thinking about the same thing. Actually, people who oppose actually the use of genetically modified products or GM products, they worry actually about, maybe the long-term negative effects. Maybe long-term, they have some negative effects. Yeah, they're worried about it. And they're concerned, that, so far, maybe the GM industry or the GM products has not been able to prove that they are safe. So, of course, we think that they are safe, but they say that, okay, they are safe, but we don't know. They are not organic. So, and we have a trend, especially in the US, we have a trend like organic trend, and most of people try to use organic
Yes.
products. So this is another. And I think this issue is not only about, how safe actually such foods are for human, but also we have another actually long-term effects, maybe on the environment and wildlife population. We don't know. Maybe. For example, actually, we heard something that it's something like, there's some evidence, of course, I heard about it, to suggest that, genetically modified crops may actually contaminate nearby plants. So it can be harmful for plants. So maybe, of course, I heard about it. So we discussed both views now. People who are in favor, people who oppose. Okay, now in conclusion, here I have a conclusion. I need to express my opinion. So what do you think? Now you can say if you agree. If you want to say I agree or partly agree, now you can say, not at the beginning of your essay. Okay, so now you say, what do you think?
I, in my opinions, I it's like mm, it's like when we modify the chain of of crops, it can be so like it can be so costly because we will need to have highly advanced gadgets and we need to acquire enough knowledge to make the modification like happen perfectly.
Yeah, of course. So yeah,
And
uh,
we
and
also
we
risk we also need to risk.
yeah. Of course, maybe we take risk by using these products. Yeah, of course. So you can say that actually you personally tend to agree with these concerns, I think. So I think you actually tend to agree the concerns about GM products, I think, right?
Yes, maybe.
So, of course. So you can say, I personally tend to agree these concerns. And, of course, you can, while, of course, maybe obvious, maybe benefits to GM crops, but overall, of course, maybe there are some potential dangers that we don't know anything about them. So maybe the impact could be so large
Yes.
long term, so we don't know. And actually, maybe long-term studies should be carried out before actually use something like this. So this is my opinion. Okay, so we're gonna write. So again, just let me say something here. Just let me talk about this. As you can see, for this actually task, I divided information 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, oh, there are more than 4 paragraphs, so it's okay. There is no rule that, oh, you need to write only 4 paragraphs. No, there is no rule. Just word limits. Okay, that's now
Yes.
I think here I needed to separate and divided my information into 2 parts, so I did it. So it's okay, no matter. If no, I can actually make it like this, 1 paragraph or something like this. But it's okay, I want to say here, this type of actually question is easier to write because you have two opinions to actually view, so you can separate it to 2 paragraphs and discuss. So
Yeah.
we're gonna read, so I think we don't have enough time to write the whole, but about the beginning, so just write the first paragraph and then, but we can do something. If you have any questions about this word or something else, you can ask me now, and after class I can write the whole essay and I will send it for you.
Yes.
Okay,
I
so if you have any question, you can ask now.
I just want to ask. It's like at the at the introduction. It's like when we say against the controversial issue.
Yeah.
But I think the issue is about the argument that people argue.
Yeah, of course. Because of this, I wrote controversial, something that caused discussion and arguments. The issue that caused arguments and discussions. Because of this, I said controversial.
Well,
You got confused with this sentence.
yes.
So here, I
So
only, you can change it. Okay, you can change it. I only wrote, for and against. It means the people who are in favor, who actually follow, who agree. Against means oppose. So this essay will discuss 2 views. People who agree with actually GM products and people who oppose with actually to this type of product. So just this, for and against mean this, and this controversial issue, you can remove it, this issue. Just this issue, this discussion, this, for example, arguments, okay? Because, I typed arguments at the beginning, I didn't want to repeat it again, so because of this, I wrote controversial issue, just this.
but when we say deal with argument and against arguments, I think it's the same.
No, no, they are not the same. Arguments and controversial. Arguments is noun, controversial is adjective. So controversial means something that caused discussion. Arguments means discussing on something.
Yes.
It can be for something or it can be against, oppose something. So they're different. They are not the same. So you can do something. You can do something. I want you paraphrase this sentence in your actually way with your words. Okay. Just try to change it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I want to know how you write it. So just try to paraphrase this one. Okay.
And can you send me the
Of course,
the
I
question?
will write the whole essay and I will
Oh,
send it for you. Yeah.
yes. But like I need the question to to paraphrase the introduction.
Of course, I will write it. I will type it in chat
Yeah.
box and I will send it for you. Of course, I will
Thank,
do it. You're
thank,
welcome. And any other questions?
I think it's clear now. It's very clear now.
Okay, very good. Just don't forget about starting. Just try to use them. Okay, if you practice them, I'm sure that you can really get a very high score in task 2. Exactly the same as task 1. Just practice. Okay, and I will send my essay. You can use it and paraphrase. Okay?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Have a good week, good time, and thank you.
Goodbye, teacher. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.